I love helping people find these holistic solutions to their cat's problems, be they health, behavior, and often both. It's usually a combo for most people. I am talking about how to prepare mixed homeopathic remedies for our kitty cats so that we can support them more fully when they're having behavioral concerns or health concerns. Homeopathy is a really great option. When we find the right remedy, I am seeing great benefits. And like so many other alternative healing modalities, it's best in combination with a few other things, particularly if we're doing nutritional improvement, if we are doing some supplementation with herbs, CBD, those kinds of things. And if you do energy work, all of these things work together to create the changes that we want. Homeopathy is energy medicine or quantum physics medicine. It is different from taking a supplement. It is different, especially from taking a pharmaceutical. Western medicine does not support or believe in homeopathic remedies because when you look at it under a microscope, technically it's just a sugar tablet, but we have to look at it from a quantum physics and energy medicine perspective. And what it is it's highly potentized. I can't say that word. It's interesting because the smaller the amount of the actual substance, the more powerful the energy of it is. So you have to look at it as energy medicine. That's how it's helped me because I already am somebody that believes in the power of energetic healing. I do the body code, belief code, emotion code, and I see the power that energy work can have in helping create a path to wellness more quickly than a lot of traditional or Western therapeutic philosophies. I like my clients to try it. It's inexpensive. A little tube is usually between $7 to $12, and the tube will last you for a while for your kitty cat. It's a great option to try. There's no harm in trying it. It does not have adverse side effects, and when it works beautifully. I have a few cats that have feline hyperesthesia episodes. You may have seen this with your cat where they have like the rippling skin, kind of flinching, you know. They might aggressively turn and start biting, grooming, like panicked kind of grooming. They might run around the room and stop and aggressively groom. My cat Bo was getting progressively worse with his FHS episodes. He was having 8 a day that I witnessed. So he was probably having 12 to 16 episodes a day, and they were getting worse. I could tell that he was really uncomfortable. I found a homeopathic case study done for FHS and decided that we were going to try it and have had significant success. It's been about 5 or 6 months since we started, and I have had a few minor relapses with Bo when I have failed to be consistent with the homeopathy. Like if I forgot to do 3 doses in a row, then I might see a tiny little episode, like teeny tiny episode, and he's distracted from it. Overall, the homeopathy has done amazing things in curbing these episodes of feline hyperesthesia syndrome. So that's one example of how homeopathy works. Again, when you find the right remedy, because sometimes that's the trick, is finding the right remedy. If we don't find the right remedy, then it's not likely to have any impact or very little impact. Sometimes it's a little bit trial and error. And interestingly, and I love this about homeopathy because I find it fascinating, it's based on the personality profile of the remedy and your animal. When we do homeopathy, I'll send you the questionnaire to try to get to some of these interesting, unique quirks or details that I need to understand in order to pair the best homeopathy remedy to your animal. There's also something in homeopathy called the constitutional remedy. The concept is there's one most powerful remedy for you that really helps you get to the root cause of all of your symptoms. It's a very specific personality profile matching. When we're just looking at symptoms like feline hyperesthesia syndrome and we're looking at controlling the nervous energy, then the homeopathics that we're using support helping those symptoms. Something's a little different with the constitutional remedy. These are very interesting and fun to play with. And so when you have an animal with behavior problems, I'm going to be looking for the most supportive constitutional remedy. And there's usually 2 to 3 options, one where it feels strongest, and then 2 or 3 that could be the remedy. And it's a little bit trial and error. There's something else I should say about homeopathy. There's 2 philosophies behind this modality, and this modality has been around for years, so it's not something newfangled. Traditional homeopathy or classic homeopathy is a one remedy at a time approach. There can be value in that, especially when you're looking at constitutional remedies. That's a great thing to do, one remedy at a time. When we're dealing with something like FHS, the case study that I'm following, we're doing 4 remedies at the same time. 2 trains of thought there. I actually am open to both. So there may be a time when I just recommend we're looking for that constitutional remedy. We're going to try one at a time to see what we can nail down. Or we're dealing with symptoms that are super important to get under control. And so we're going to try 2 or 3 remedies at the same time. The hardest part about homeopathy is delivering it to our cats. So there's multiple ways to deliver, and I'm going to tell you about them in order of best choice first to then the last ditch effort choices. So there's 5 options I'm going to give you for administering. The best way to administer homeopathic remedy is to dissolve 2, sometimes 3 pellets in water, and the water we're choosing is spring water or distilled water. Most of the time I do 30C, sometimes we'll do 200C, and that's the potency. If there's a really serious deep-rooted kind of concern, we might try a 1M. Then we're gonna let it dissolve for a few minutes. Sometimes I forget and walk away and it's been an hour, but I still find that, you know, if I stir it up vigorously, and it seems to still be helping. You'll use a syringe, a Lurlock slip tip, the one that's pointy. You can also use a glass dropper. If your cat isn't calm about accepting medication, then glass droppers could pose a potential risk, so I use plastic most of the time. All right, come here, Bo. Come here, bud. So Bo is typically my good boy when it comes to accepting medication. Depending on the size of your cat, suck up about 1.5 mils of this fluid, and you're gonna put it directly in the mouth and have the cat swallow it. You ready? Yep. Good job, buddy, good job. Now you don't want to squirt all 1.5 mils super fast because it could pose a choking hazard. We want to slowly push that syringe in. We're kind of aiming at an angle, not straight back into the throat, but against the inside of the mouth. So that's the most ideal method. And the next option is to take that same fluid that we've created and pull it up in a syringe or a glass dropper, and you want to put 1 to 2 drops in each eye. We're just going to tilt back, kind of pull the skin back. And, yep. Whoop, there we go. That was a good one. That was a good one. 2 is ideal. You know, cat isn't as tolerant. 1, but that's another way to help the cat absorb the energy medicine into their system. The 3rd way is to put pellets, just the little sugar pellets, and they're tiny little pellets, is to put them directly in the mouth, and not, Bo's gonna show you this too. Such a good boy. Come here. I've got two pellets here in the lid. So we want to kind of get it in between the gums and that's the ideal. You can go for the top gums. Oh, you're okay. He's feeling it. Oh, he just spit it out. If you don't place them just right, it'll be a little uncomfortable and the cat will spit them out. The idea is to wedge it here in between the gums and the cheek so that it just sits there and dissolves. If Kitty is spitting them out after just a few seconds, you haven't quite gotten enough of the energy absorbed in the mucous membrane. We want to hold it there in the mouth as long as possible. I would say a minimum of 60 seconds. Ideally, they're just leaving them in there until they dissolve if you've got them wedged nicely. He's got one in there still. The trick is that it's best not to use your fingers, your hands. Sometimes the oils in our hands, sometimes if we've used lotion or hand soap that has a strong scent, essential oils, perfumes, hairspray, hair gel. I mean, there could be anything residual on our hands, and that can actually knock back the potency of the energy medicine. So you can use a pill shooter to try to place it. You can use just the cap of the lid. I don't do this method myself very often. I actually find it pretty tricky, but it's the third best delivery mechanism. He's done being our guinea pig. Now we're gonna talk about the fourth and the fifth ways to deliver. If your cat likes a little bit of milk, cream, or plain yogurt to dissolve or place the little pellets in the milk or cream, let it sit for a minute so that there's some dissolving of the energy medicine into the substance.
Gingis, do you want your greens? Oh, babies. Let's get your greens.
And then let the cat consume it. And it works. The only reason it's fourth in line is because, again, we're kind of starting to mess with the potency. My recommendation for your creams or your milks, a pasture-raised milk product, grass-fed. Organic is okay if it's not grass-fed. Another thing you can look to as well is A2 milk products over A1 milk products. So A1 milk products are what dominate the marketplace, and these are milk products that come from genetic modifications that have happened over decades to have cows produce more milk, and it's changed the chemical makeup of the milk. Your grass-fed, your grass milk, or unless it says A2, it's going to be an A1 milk. A2 milk is what God made normal cows that produce like 8 gallons of milk versus 15 gallons of milk a day, or whatever it is they're producing these days. It's easier to digest for most people, most animals, so that A2 milk could be an option that you look at too. Just to clarify, there's so much information in the US about milk being bad for our cats, that they should never have it. Now, you don't want to feed a tiny kitten cow milk, but when it comes to a treat once a day and you're giving a cat a tablespoon of half and half, or you're giving them a tablespoon of yogurt, these are things that are fine. Your cat should not have any digestive issues. If they do, then that's when you try an A2 product. The last option is to put it directly in the cat food. The cat food often has pretty strong flavors, so the potency again starts to go down when we put it in food. Some people think, well, if I put more in, then it will be more effective, and that's not necessarily the case. We might have to try a higher potency, like a 200C or a 1M. A lot of people go to this method first. Please try the other methods first. It really is just water, and slightly sweet water, and cats can't taste sweet. So it's just a matter of helping them be comfortable while you administer it. And we want to try to do the C-hold method. We don't want to scruff because that creates more stress. We don't want to headlock them because that creates more stress. You can towel wrap or blanket wrap kitty, as long as you're following good instructions there, and I can put a link for some good instructions on towel wrapping in the about this video, because we don't want to stress out additionally an animal that's stressed already because they're sick or they have a behavior problem. We really want to keep it minimal stress. I will work with you with your animal. If your case is specifically about building trust, then we're not going to be capturing them, wrapping them in towels, and delivering it directly into their mouth. We're going to be administering it in milk or food. But if you can handle your cat really well, if your cat is already well socialized, but it's got, let's say, a litter box issue or aggressive towards another cat in the house, but you can give it directly in the mouth, then that's what we want to do. So that's how we give homeopathy. Please leave comments if you have comments or thoughts, ways that you've had success, or questions that you might have. Happy to answer those. If you'd like to work with me, I'll leave a link in the about video for how to find me on my website. I'm happy to be here for you to help your cat start feeling its best, so then we are more successful when we work on behavioral concerns. Thanks everyone, see you next time.